topic is personal health record. So going forward, that we have been hearing many things, many terminologies in reference to personal health record, electronic health record, electronic medical record. So to initiate the discussion, I have started with the definition of PHR. The definition is that PHR is a collection of health informations of personal that is documented and maintained by the individual it pertains to. Information about any surgeries or procedure. That means a person who is having medical informations, that personal health record is available. So it may contain information such as your current medication. You may be taking, say, blood pressure medicine. You may be taking with the diabetic medicines, or you have certain allergies with you. You have certain chronic diseases. You have done various investigations being done over the period of time. You have certain surgeries performed. You have personal present and past illness. You have immunization records. So lifestyle, and right now there are plenty of fitness bands are there. So lifestyle and fitness informations are also become the part of personal health record. So this personal health record is very essential in reference to the individual's well-being, because right now this collection of information is being in the paper format, and you cannot draw informations. You need to be very managed in putting your data in front of with you, as well as when you are going to clinical visits. You need to put all your information with you and to inform the doctor, clinician, which you are referring to. So these information is in, if you talk about in digital format. So these personal health record is these information connect to the personal health record. Now coming back to that, there are, I have told you about there are few more informations, few more terminologies are there. So electronic health record and electronic medical record. So you see that personal health record is individual clinical informations, clinical data, and other health information. That means, as I have defined in the earlier slide, that your personal individual health record is your personal health record. So what is electronic health record? Electronic health records includes others providers records. That means your informations such as electronic systematically collected of patients and population electronically stored health information. That means you are visiting to various institutions, and that institution is keeping your record as well as others record. Collection of all those personal health records in an institution provides you electronic health record. And what is EMR? So EMR is medical records. You see that this is electronic medical record, which is clinical records only. So that is how these definitions are being covered. So personal health record is individual record. Electronic health record covers other providers record. So you can see that personal health record is individuals, clinical, and other information record. Electronic health record covers the other providers record, and electronic medical records are clinical records of the individual clinical. So personal health record covers other health informations like allergies, like your fitness regime. EMR only contains electronic health record. So an EMR contains the medical and treatment history of the patient in one practice. Okay, so these are the three major definitions which are basically going through. You must be hearing in various digital health discussions. So I hope I have been able to clarify that thing. So now coming to the what are the attributes of personal health records? So attributes, a personal health record is covered and controlled by individual. So individual, this is the important thing, that individual should control his own or her personal health record. This personal health record should contain health information about individual's lifetime. That means starting from, probably right now, earlier there was no digital health. So right now, starting from the birth till the end, the last day of the life, there are plenty of health information being captured and PHR should contain all those health information. PHR should be integrated with various healthcare service providers. So right now, what was happening is during the last 20 years, as we have a discussion, there are plenty of PHR and electronic health record initiatives have been done, which are in silos. So personal health record should be integrated with various healthcare providers. That means you have gone to SGPGI, you have certain information, you have done certain tests, you have gone to Lal Path Lab, you have done certain tests, that your PHR should be integrated with various healthcare service providers also. So all this information should be integrated within yourself. And PHR should be accessible from one place to any place, anytime. So you are visiting to Lucknow, you are visiting to Bombay, you are any part of the world, your PHR should be accessible from from there. Earlier, what may be the possibility that you everywhere you need to carry your paper health record. So right now, PHR should be accessible from any place, anytime. The privacy and security of personal health record is very much important, because this is purely personal to individual, and it can be accessible only after the permission from individual to access, even to the clinician. In your current format, you see that patient comes to a clinician and shows his previous record. That is, he is giving the rights to clinician, treating clinician, that you see that particular information which he has carried in the paper format. So, and PHR should be transparent. The individual should know from where each piece of data is coming from, who has viewed it. That means, as I have given you information that there are plenty of clinical information which has been captured in various healthcare providers. You have been tested at Lal's lab, you have tested at SGPGI, you have tested at AIIMS, you have been diagnosed with certain disease. That should be recorded, that from where you have captured these data. And PHR should allow easy exchange of information. So that means once you are with the consultant, you are with any EHR provider, you are going for consultation, you can exchange the information with other PHR also, other EHR system also. So these are the few attributes which are must for any good PHR system. So that means you need to control your own personal record. You should have informations of individual lifetime, and it should be integrated with other healthcare service provider. It should be accessible from anywhere in the world. It should be private and secure, and you can exchange the information with other PHR also. So these are the few attributes of personal health record. So why PHR is important? That is, we have seen that what is PHR, what is electronic health record, what is electronic medical record, and what should be the attributes of PHR. Now we should learn about why it is important, why PHR is much important. So more data related to personal health history and lifestyles help clinicians to give more precise diagnosis and prescriptions. In general, what these are a few things which is very important, as we have seen during this COVID vaccination. Also, there are few allergies which has come. There are few reactions has come. So these data, if it is being provided to clinician, probably there will be more precise diagnosis can happen. If you are sometime allergic to some drugs, probably clinician will not prescribe you that particular drug. So more data about your personal health history will definitely going to give you the very precise diagnosis. And what happens is, generally what happens is that if you have a cough and cold and you've gone to clinician, the clinician generally say that you may be viral. So you have gone to 5 days of history, 5 days of treatment, but still cough is persisting. So what happens is that you go for certain tests. There are certain tests which shows that you may be having tuberculosis, you may be having that typhoid disease, you may be having malaria, anything happened. But in this duration, that because the precise information is not available, you have taken 10 days or 12 days medication, which probably may harm your health. So more precise information, personal health history, will definitely going to help clinicians to diagnose and give you a very appropriate, probably personal health prescriptions. What is happening in the right now in these time, there are advanced predictive analytics research is being done for health professionals by IT professionals. This is helping strengthening the personal health record. So they are giving the information, the alerts to clinician that yes, these are the activities, these are the analytics. Probably for a particular disease, system will PHR will give you information that these are the previous history of the particular patient, and these are the diagnosis, these are the investigation which need to be taken, which need to be prescribed to that particular individual. So this advanced predictive analytic research in health professional can better estimate the risk of future chronic conditions and disease. This is very important. So these things are happening right now in PHR domain. A comprehensive health record also allows healthcare professionals to develop better health plans and for improving and maintaining health. This is the sentence itself says that why PHR is important, because in the health, if your healthcare, your clinician has proper health record of your, he or she can plan your health plan for better improvements of also probably if you had if you have patient of blood pressure, you have patient of hypertension, you have patient of diabetes, and your history, your personal health history will definitely try, clinician will be able to prescribe the doses of the medicine probably you are taking. It may plan that probably during this particular duration you have that type of disease or type of blood pressure, you have probably stressed more, so in that time your drugs will be prescribed. Another is that your family history, chronic and acute illness, can help complete the heredity and generic portrait of family members. So what is happening, there are plenty of hereditary diseases are there, which are basically chronic, from coming from patient, from father to son, and then to further in the history. So personal health record is not for individual only, it is for the family also, because with that personal health record one can diagnose that probably he or she may have that particular risk of these type of chronic diseases, and he or she can plan his health and future planning of the health records. Health planning can be done by taking the chronic and acute illness. We have seen in many cases that body of knowledge could be one of the most valuable assets one can give to his or her children. So this is a very strong statement that this knowledge you are passing on to your children, that is basically other than your so many properties and money and etc. This particular information you are passing on the health wellness to your children. That is very important aspect. That is why PHR is one of the most important activity in coming ages. So there are these are very right things to do, and these are the why importance. So what are the steps you need to take as an individual? Right now we are very focused we are very much in the social sites. We are very good. We have seen that there are digital literacy has increased. So what are the steps to do the how we can adopt PHR? So PHR should be connected with internet. As I have said that it should be connected. So you must have right now this is the time of mobile internet, data is free. So PHR should be connected with the internet. Individuals should have knowledge about PHR tools and their values. So, individuals there should be a generic information that these are the PHR tools which is available, and they can take those tools in their mobile, in their laptops, so that they can access to those information which is coming to that. Individuals should have e-health literacy and medical. This is I think this e-health literacy word is very important, because one should understand that the importance of e-health, how this information is required. It is not that you have one prescription and you have informations, but these are not kept somewhere. So e-health should be literacy on individual health. E-health should be very important. Just like you are literating yourself with the WhatsApp or LinkedIn or something like that, you should also understand that e-health, any e-health which is any e-health app which is coming up, you should have your own record in that. You should have the knowledge of that particular e-health literacy. PHR should be clinically integrated, should be single source of information. So PHR should be integrated. It is not that if you are expecting that one individual is going to type every information in his or her PHR, it will not be possible. So it should be clinically integrated. So integration and interoperability are the most important activity which makes PHR important and which makes PHR sustainable also. Without that integration, clinically integration, it will not be possible to insist on personal health record. So change in the clinical work process and responsibility. So PHR, as PHR is being adopted, the clinical work, change in the clinical work is also important, because right now we have a practice of writing prescription on hand. So PHR e-prescriptions are there. There are plenty of technologies coming where e-prescription can be generated fast. There are natural language context natural language technologies are coming, where you can speak the electronic prescription. So all these informations are required. And the most important aspect here is PHR data protection and privacy. So as you are protecting your bank information, as you are protecting your individual information, as you are protecting your individual accounts, patient data protection, your patient data and privacy is also as much as important. So right now what is happening is that in the last 2 decades there are plenty of progress has been done in adopting PHR HR, but it is always non-started. It has a long promised future, but yet to deliver. It is yet not delivered that what is actually it needs to develop, which is basically the need of the hour. This COVID in the last 2 years have shown that PHR and EHR is the need of the hour. So that is why. So that is why this integration, clinical integration, is important. So PHR adoption, major issue in PHR adoption, PHR issues are that it has to be, there should be certain integrated ecosystem available. There should be integrated ecosystem available where PHR can be clinically integrated. I think somebody is speaking. Please mute your audio. So now coming to, if you see that there are issues, as it is a non-starter, there are long promise future, and PHR should be clinically integrated. So Government of India has come up very strongly with their National Digital Health Mission, which has tried to address these issues, which is basically non-starter for PHR. So, and what we have discussed earlier, that what should PHR should contain, how PHR should be clinically integrated, how individual entities should be integrated for making a PHR good PHR, and there should be certain analytics available on PHR. So Government of India has come with Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission. Earlier, it was called National Digital Health Mission. In 2017-18, there was a national digital health blueprint has been proposed, and that has been taken care by the ministries, and then after many thoughts and many discussions, National Digital Health Mission has come, which is launched last year by Honorable Prime Minister on the 15th of August. And now recently this has been converted as Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission. So what in the context of PHR, it is very much important to understand that how this particular Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission is important in India's digital health deliveries. So there are three major components. So National Health Electronic Registry. So what the ABDHM is going to try is that it is going to try that there should be an electronic registry for nationwide electronic registry. So that will contain that health ID. So every individual will be given health ID. So all their personal health record will be integrated with that particular health ID. This is every facility, whether it is institution, health institution, whether it is a government institution, whether it is a private health institution, whether it is a private labs, every health facility will be registered, and they will be also be given registry their IDs. So and every doctor, every clinician will have their own registry. So as nationwide, there will be National Health Electronic Registry for individuals, for health facilities, for clinician. So that is the ecosystem which is a mission for Ayushman Bharat, which is going to be created. Now, in this particular personal health record mission, there is a coverage and claim platform. There are plenty of, you have seen that right now Ayushman Bharat itself is a insurance health insurance scheme, and there are we all are covered with some or other health insurance scheme. We have seen that there are frauds happening. So there are issues in claim management also. So with this registry coming, coverage and claim platform will be available. One of the building blocks of that National Health Digital Health Mission will be coverage and claim platform. So next is Federated Personal Health Record Framework. So federated means that you must be knowing that in India, health is a state subject. So so that is why this federated word has come from. So it is not going there. There is no nothing like that. There is a central repository is being created. There are central repository of health data is being created. It's not like that. Every health resource provider will have their own data. Every state will have their own data, and this complete ecosystem will be integrated. So so they can talk to each other, which is basically missing right now. So they can talk to each other. Every health record can talk to, just like you see that there is a banks, there is a UPI is available. So where you can transfer the money without thinking that which bank is there. So every bank is integrated with UPI. Something like that is going to happen in this domain, which will definitely going to strengthen the personal health record, and which is basically, which has been asked about, that it is a non-starter. Now this is going to be a big game changer right now. So access of PHR to patient by providing integrated digital health ecosystem and availability of health data for medical research. So this is how these things are okay. So so personal health record, the issues which are basically there in the personal health record, which makes it non-starter, Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission or NDHM is going to create that major change in the health ecosystem, digital health ecosystem of India. So what will be the impact of ABDHM on PHR? So you have interoperable health ecosystem. So ABDHM will develop a strong set of mandates and promotion to ensure adoption across both public health and private ecosystem to help realize and vision of interoperable health ecosystem, which was basically missing till now. So this is going to be every ABDHM will develop a strong set of mandates and promotion. It will do the promotion also. You see that there are plenty of things happening. There are plenty of seminars happening, plenty of discussions happening for promoting this personal health record. So interoperable health ecosystem will be a boom for maintaining personal health record. So as we have discussed, what will be the federated architecture of health data? It will implement a federal health record exchange system, federated health record exchange system. So every person, every health record resource provider, health record provider will have their own system. There will be a certain exchange information will be federated health record exchange system will be coming, and for interoperable of system. Enable patient data to be held at a point of care or at a closest possible location where it was created. So patient data will be available at the point of care, held at the point of care. So if you are getting treatment in SGPGI Lucknow, your health data will be at SGPGI. So this architecture will create that data, health data, patient health data is at the local place. Health records will be accessible and shareable by the patient with appropriate consent, and complete control of the records will remain with the patient. So that means health records will be accessible and shareable by patient. So patient, as we have already informed in the previous slide, discussed that the ownership of the health record is with patient. So it will be accessible and shared by the patient, and there will be a proper consent management framework in this particular NDHM, ABDHM ecosystem, where how health records will be shared to clinician for cross consultation. Everything will be how to share the care context of a particular patient, particular individual. This will be complete accessible by the patient itself. An appropriate digital consent framework as per a standard specified by the National Digital Health Blueprint will be adopted for consent management. So consent management, there is a framework which has been approved and written in the National Digital Health Blueprint, will be adopted for consent management. And health information provider must share with patient a digital version of any document already being given to patient, like diagnostic report, discharge summary, clinical note, prescription, and immunization. So you must have seen that there is a COVID certification is getting generated digitally. If you have seen that COVID certification, you must have, if you have just see that there will be the health ID is there. So this is your health ID for NDHM. You can use that health ID for whenever you are going to visit the patient, whenever you go to any clinician, any institution, that health ID will be there. There is another mobile app is also coming from the National Digital Health Mission for your personal health record, which will be integrated with you will see that under your personal health record, the COVID certification, the vaccination certification is available. So every institution which is basically providing the healthcare services has to provide the digital version of the document which is there, which is being created during its treatment. So that is very much important aspect of the ABDHM. This health data is being managed, so it should be individual owned. All records and their components will be owned and controlled by individuals, as we have discussed many times. Another thing which is big thing which is coming up is health lockers. So what is health locker? You must have heard about digital locker. Government of India has publicized this digital health locker, where you can individually store your own important documents there are in CBSE and ICSE board, everywhere the mark sheet is coming with the digital health. Mark sheet is available in the health locker. Your driving license is available in the digital Digi locker. Similarly, health lockers will be available. There will be plenty of health lockers will be there in the private domain or public domain, where patient will have choice to keep a copy of their record in their own cloud store. You have seen that there is a Google Cloud, there are Microsoft Cloud, and you have seen that there you have been given that storage for storing your mails you can access from anywhere. Similarly, health lockers will be coming in another few years, 1 or 2 years. There are plenty of health lockers will be coming where you have a choice to store your individual health data, which will be accessible to across the world. So one principle which I have explained, that personal health record should be available from anywhere. This health locker is going to provide you that the feasibility that it will be available from everywhere. So you will see that in future, in another few years, you will be having health lockers, and you can store your health records, at that lockers. You can take that space. Consent driven saving. Health records will be accessible and shared with the patient with appropriate consent. As I have said, that there will be a proper consent management framework which will be accepted across all health institutions, across all clinical health service providers, where these informations will be available and you can share that consent. User can add regarding reading from IoT and other devices like wearable and to their PHR. So right now there are plenty of IoT devices are available, wearables are available, which are generating your personal health record. Right now there are plenty of devices which is basically SpO2 level is giving. They are giving your stress management. They are giving your heart rate also. These are available. So these user generated data can also be integrated with health data management. The individual will be able to view the content of their health records via web interface, mobile application using Health ID. So the Health ID, which I have informed you, that Health ID will be generated individually for every citizen of India. And let me very clarify, it is not compulsory. Personal health record management is individual's own choice. This is basically voluntary. If you are interested enough, if you think that this is beneficial for you, you can take part in the NDHM, National Digital Health Mission ecosystem. So individual will be able to view the content of health records via web interface and mobile interface using Health ID. Government will provide you only platforms, gateways, or system to get various players connected with each other. So what is going to create is that this ABDHM will provide you platforms, gateways, systems to get various players connected to each other. So interoperatively, the focus is interoperable. It is not that government is going to get their own everything at their way. No, everyone will act like individuals, but there will be ecosystem available which will help to share the data, individual personal health record data. So these are the few building blocks which everyone should understand, that these are the few building blocks which is available for MDHM. So identification, which I have informed you, that unique identification of person, citizen in control, service access and delivery, mobile first. Look at this statement, mobile first principle for delivery of majority of stakeholders facing services. So one of the building block, one of the mission of the NDHM is that mobile first. So you are going to get information in individual mobile. There may be cases that although there are smartphone accessibility in India has increased up to lowest level, but there are cases where patients individual citizens do not have personal health mobiles, smartphones. But the way it is increasing, so mobile will be available to everyone. And interoperability is a prerequisite for development of integrated digital health services and establishing a continuum of care, but also propelling parallel development of innovative value-added services by entrepreneurs. So interoperability is must for any health system, digital health services being provided. So individual system working in silos will have to come in the ecosystem for sharing the data. Now coming to that, look, there are few things which is basically, if you are want to be connected with the NDA, always there is a cost for interoperability. There is a ecosystem for making it interoperable. So there are plenty of standards are also available, which is required by NDHM for sharing the data. So as CDAC, we are also working with a connector, which is basically middleware for any institution, any individual, any clinician. If you want to share the data, they want to become a part of NDHM ecosystem and don't want to invest in studying those standards and those exchange framework. For this, we are working on, CDAC is working on a FHIR connected, which is basically approved by NDHM also. So what will be the features of that? There will be a robust exchange framework through adoption of Federated National Health Information Architecture defined in the. So there will be an exchange framework available where individual institutions can exchange their data without doing much, through this FHIR connector framework, and it will be available to NDHM. As this is must that system should be interoperable. So individual clinics, this exchange will provide you interoperable, and it will also give you the impact of standardization. So it will do the standardization, which probably what are the different standards, which probably next session is for standards and all these things. So enable silo system and isolated medical record to be part of NDHM. So individual silo system, if the government is pushing, then silo system can be become NDHM compliant through this connector methodology. Legacy system, there are plenty of legacy. So if you want to change your legacy system to a system which is basically going to talk to NDHM, you need to work on those systems. So individual institutions, individual clinic, a small nursing home, which is basically working on digital health, can take that services to connect to NDHM to share that particular data, which basically, and there will be anonymization also. When you are transferring the particular data from one system to another system, so there will be a proper anonymized framework which will be available for FHI when you are using that. So what is being tried is that what is the basic principles of PHR, and there is a NDHM. There are plenty of other institutions are available, but they want to connect to NDHM because they don't have the they don't have the standard knowledge. They don't have the standard knowledge. They don't have the proper resources to connect with NDHM. This is the middleware which is being provided by government to use that and connect to NDHM ecosystem. So this is probably my last slide. So I have few applications which are basically EHR applications. So this is CDAC's eShruti is there, NIC's eHospital is there, Wipro is there, TCS is there, and there are plenty of others health service providers or EHR application providers are there, which can be used by the institution based on their requirement. So that will help in creating the personal health record. So this is how just few screens. This is how you will have that information, that how you can take the appointment, you can check that tariff details, you can OPD inquiry, you can see your lab reports, drug availability, everything you can see. You can see that how your particular tests are being monitored. Trend, you can analyze your trends, all these things. This is how your coming ecosystem will be, something like that. So I think that's all from my side.